In my last video, I showed you how I duplicated all of the premium accessories that were included with the Foundation Series Cybertruck and how I found them at affordable prices for those of us that waited for the more affordable non-Foundation Series Cybertruck. Now, if you haven't seen that video, click on the card above to watch that one. In this video, however, I will focus on what I consider the 5 must-have things for any version of the Cybertruck. Let's jump right on in and start with the most basic must-have item, and that's a sunshade for this massive windshield on the Cybertruck. Now, at face value, this might not sound like a must-have, but the sheer size of the Cybertruck windshield is capable of generating lots of cabin heat, especially if it sits outside for any length of time. And the sunshade that I'm going to recommend is sold by a company called Tesla. I will, of course, leave a link in the description below for this and every other product that I show you in this video. Now, the reason that I recommend this particular sunshade is because of its design. Not only does it seamlessly fit into the large Cybertruck windshield, but it can also be coiled into a manageable size for storage or simply left atop the dash if that's more convenient. The other thing that I appreciate is the actual reflective capability of the top coating, which does a great job in blocking out those sun rays. So for my next must-have item, I'm going to suggest a screen protector. Again, this might not seem like a must-have, but I'm not referring to that massive 18.5-inch infotainment screen up front. No, I'm actually more concerned with the smaller 9.4-inch screen in the rear cabin. Now hear me out. With fold-up seating and rear doors that swing open almost 90 degrees, this easily accessible cargo space increases the possibility of shoving something back there that could actually damage the rear screen. Now, the good news is that most screen protectors that I found for Cybertruck come as a pair, so you'll get to protect both screens. Now, for this, I chose the Protect the Glass brand with the HD clear finish, which I also purchased from Tesla. Now, the reason I decided to go with the HD clear screen protector as opposed to one that's anti-glare is because that the one that I recently purchased for my Model S from another company sometimes became unusable when the sun hit it at certain angles. Now, maybe this was an inferior brand, but I wasn't about to take that chance with a much larger Cybertruck screen. Plus, I actually like the natural look of the screen. Now, I won't bore you with the tediousness of the installation, so I will use jump cuts to speed through the process. But one word of advice, do not skip any of the installation steps. In the end, take your time and be sure to clean the screens with the provided wipes, as they also help to cut down on the static electricity, which can make both of these screens dust magnets. Now, my next must-have is an extension cord, and not the kind that you find at a hardware store. No, this is a NACS, or North American Charging Standard Extension Cable. And why wouldn't you just use a regular extension cord? Well, the most important reason is safety, because extension cords, even the ones that are considered heavy duty, are not designed to handle the amount of amperage that is required by EVs, especially that of a Cybertruck. So for this, I chose a 21-foot Tesla EV extension cable from a company called EVDTeslaPilot. This particular cable has female and male NACS connectors at each end. They also have one that is 40 feet in length. Now, the reason that I consider this a must-have is because with the size of the Cybertruck, you might find yourself forced to park further away from a Tesla wall adapter or destination charger, and having an extension cable like this could save the day. Now, because I truly believe that having something like this is very important and safe, I reached out to EVDance to get a 20% discount off of their already discounted prices. As you can see, a 21-foot extension cable went from $249.99 to $212.49 with the EVDance discount, but when you add my discount code of EVDTeslaPilot, you can save an additional $42.50 for a total of $169.99. EVDance also carries other products such as chargers, adapters, and plugs that you can also apply my discount code to. Another plus about this extension cable from EVDance is that it comes with a case that just so happens to fit perfectly into the Cybertruck's vault locker below the bed of the Cybertruck. Speaking of the Cybertruck bed, let me show you my next must-have item. And that's a cargo bed divider. Because the Cybertruck has a large cargo bed with a tonneau cover that keeps everything nice and secure, having a bed divider allows you to create what is basically a trunk space similar to that of a car. Everything from luggage to groceries will stay within an area that you predetermine with the placement of a bed divider. And the bed divider I'm going to recommend is one sold by a company called Cybergear. And there are two very good reasons that I'm recommending this one over the one sold by Tesla. First is the price. Tesla sells their cargo divider for $350, whereas Cybergear sells theirs for $329. Now, that may not sound like a big difference. However, Cybergear does run some significant discounts from time to time. I was able to purchase mine for $239, which I thought was an amazing deal. But the second, and maybe the most important reason, is that the one from Cybergear actually fits over a cargo bed liner, whereas the one from Tesla won't. There are several videos on YouTube where this is documented. Here's a clip of Chuck Cook, made famous because of Chuck's Turn, trying to install one that was included with his Foundation Series Cybertruck.
Back to this cargo divider and this mat. This cargo divider fits so tight into the L-track and to the bottom of the Cybertruck base when it's latched in that it would not fit with the thickness of this mat.
Notice how we had to cut the bed liner just to get the Tesla cargo divider to fit.
The bottom down here. Mm-hmm. So when this mat was in here, it just wasn't fitting into the L-track by that much.
And finally, for my last Cybertruck must-have, I'll switch from one cargo area to another, the frunk storage. And for this, I'm going to suggest a cargo net that keeps things from sliding or rolling around inside. Granted, the Cybertruck frunk might not be as large or as deep as some of the other EV trucks, but because of its clamshell-like design, it still provides easy access and a decent amount of storage space. But things stored inside here have a tendency to slide around a bit. For that reason, a front cargo net is another must-have in my opinion. And the cargo net that I chose for the front of my Cybertruck is actually one from Tesla, as it wasn't as pricey as some other Tesla accessories, and I thought that their cargo net for the front was a far better option than some of the competitors. For example, this competitor's cargo net looks and installs in a somewhat similar fashion, but when you take a closer look, you'll discover that the rail that holds the net in place is plastic, not metal like Tesla's, and once installed, the competitor's cargo net cannot be easily removed or adjusted like the one from Tesla. Well, those are my 5 must-haves, whether you have a Foundation Series or a non-Foundation Series Cybertruck. And as I bring this video to a close, I'm going to run through some clips of some products that I plan to cover in upcoming videos. So in the meantime, thanks for watching this one, and if you found it useful, be sure to hit that like button, which helps get this video out to other Cybertruck owners that might also be interested in this content. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you are alerted to any new video that I post in the future. Oh, and one last thing, if you or anyone you know is planning on purchasing a new Tesla, I ask that you use my link in the description below, which will take $1,000 off the purchase of any new Tesla. Please note that it's important to click that link in order to generate that $1,000 discount. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Passing through Max Q.